Yo, what's going on, y'all? We're back with another one, and in this one, Jesse is going to be explaining why Solana is no competition for Base. So this is going to be an interesting one, man. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and let's dive into this one, man.
I want to talk more base specific. When you look at the future of base, do you feel like you have to beat Solana at the trenches, meme coin sort of competition?
I don't think so. I think that, like, basically, if you look at what's going to happen over the next few years, I think that the whole world's going to come on chain. And increasingly, they're going to come on chain into experiences that just like make it easy for them to do the thing that they want to do. But then inside of those experiences, you're basically going to have a question of where is stuff originated. And like, here's an example. Phantom. Like, you can go into Phantom and right now you could trade base memes, you could trade Solana memes, and like for most people, they probably wouldn't know the difference. Now, what the difference is that you basically have different folks who have opted into like kind of different cultures or different communities or different technology platforms who are then originating content. And I think my thesis is that like all of that content can and will live side by side. And you'll have different sub communities that basically elect to say, hey, this is the place I want to be creating content. And then it will get up, like kind of bubbled up through the infrastructure and aggregated into consumer experiences where people can actually interact with it. And so the most important thing for me right now is figuring out how do we originate more world-class content across base, Solana, across everyone. And then how do we build more distribution for that on-chain content and get it in the hands of more people so that there's basically more eyeballs that can drive engagement with that content.
So I love the fact that people are making it platform v platform, like Web3 v Web3 platform, like so Solana versus Base, but he's making it us versus them. Like it's like crypto versus non-crypto, Web3 versus Web2. So I like how he's switching the focus and making it about the bigger picture because that's huge. And I think that we don't want the blockchain to model after what the world is doing. Like the world is warring, fighting, always attacking one another. They doing everything but working together, and we can get much farther as far as exploration, as far as everything. We can get much farther working together than we can if we're divided. But they just don't do that in the real world. But I love how so many blockchain companies are coming together and starting to do that. And people want to take that approach. And that's what this space is all about. So I love seeing people and developers who actually embody what the blockchain is truly about.
And I think if we can, like, that is a flywheel. And right now, I think we're doing like a so-so job on originating content that people actually want to interact with. And I think we're at like day zero of driving real everyday people out of TikTok, out of Instagram, into experiences where they can actually interact with that content. And so I think the big thing for me is just like the competition is not Base Solana. The competition is like there's literally billions of people right now who are creating content and consuming content in platforms where it's walled garden, they can be deplatformed at any minute, and they get fucking scrapped. Like literally. Like go on Instagram and try and create something. Like I did some music with my brother the other day, and we dropped a song and we put it on Zora and people minted it, and he made $6,000.
No way.
Like putting aside, he's a musician. He's like 21, and like he never made $6,000 from any of his creativity ever. And it's like you could say, oh, but that's just because like Jesse interacted with it and people are like just want to blah blah. It's not repeatable. But literally, there is no format where you could even have the potential of making $6,000. Like if you take a song and you put it on Spotify, impossible. Like even if you got tens of millions of streams, maybe you'd get some thousands of dollars like 6 months down the line.
But that's tens of millions of streams.
Instagram, yeah, tens of millions of streams. You put it on Instagram, like sorry, like unless you have a ton of followers, you don't qualify for creator earnings. Like these platforms are fucking broken. And I think the thing for me is like, what we all need to focus on is like unthroning that and building a new internet where you can have people who are creating content and originating content in different places. And it's built on open networks that everyone can aggregate over, everyone can contribute to, and everyone can benefit from. And
this is why Base is going to be king. Look at how he shifted the focus away from the petty argument of Solana versus Base, and he brought it back big picture. that is what I feel like Base is doing. That's what I feel like Coinbase and this Base platform is bringing to the table. So him leading the charge and creating this and doing it in this way, I think he was perfect for this job.
And I think that is like, I mean, it's just way more interesting, and it's way more ambitious than like Base versus Solana.
You have this take I like, and you kind of said it. I heard you say it in the Kevin pod as well, where you're basically like, crypto apps aren't competing with other crypto apps. You're competing with
100%.
You're competing with TikTok. You're competing with the internet at large. What is gonna be the 0 to 1 moment for like a Base where you feel like you can genuinely compete, if not beat, the Web 2 giants like a TikTok?
It's a great question.
More soon. No, I mean, we got some stuff cooking.
Like, what does it look like? Like, what is that?
I mean, I think it's basically the combination of a world-class app from a polish and finish perspective that feels as good to an everyday consumer as an Instagram or TikTok.
Is it one app? Like, it takes one. All it takes is one app.
I think all it's gonna take is one app. And let me come back to that. But it's a world-class app combined with a sufficiently dense network of open content that can be surfaced through that app, such that the app can start the flywheel of attracting more creators and then attracting consumers and creators making more money and therefore bringing their audiences in. And like the reason why I say that is only like you only need one app is not because only one app will win.
Yeah.
Like the really powerful thing about on-chain is that it's open. So like once all this happens, anyone will be able to build an app and aggregate over all of that content. And consumers and users and people, whoever, will have consumer choice. They'll be able to say, oh no, this one's kind of annoys me. Like, let me just move to this other one and it will just work. Versus like in the existing model, that's not even possible. Like you're locked into these walled gardens. But the reason why I say that it only takes one app is I really think that like once we have one of these apps go viral, it's going to be off to the races. Because A, the content density will be increasing very, very rapidly, very, very dramatically, because you'll have at least one app that's driving that new content creation on chain. And then B, you're basically going to have a playbook at that point where people can be like, oh, here are the pieces that they combine together. People will then combine those pieces in like a one-to-one clone, and then they'll start forking off it and being like, oh, what if we tweak this thing? What if we tweak this thing? And you'll basically have massive experimentation and like discovery of like what are 50% better, 50% better, 50% better, until we literally have like thousands, hundreds of thousands of apps that are all contributing to this open graph that are then generating more value for everyone else who's consuming from the graph.
You think the future of the on-chain economy is going to be existing platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, adding crypto guardrails, or crypto native apps just flipping and getting bigger than the existing giants, or both?
I mean, I hope they're not watching this. No, but like, I mean, seriously, like my feeling on this is are like the window.
You can't change something centralized and kind of make it a little bit decentralized, like bring decentralized content on it or something. It's like you can't do that. You're either something centralized or you're not. And these companies were built in a, like the way that these companies was built, they have to be taken down by something equally as good on the other side, because the other side just has better tech, you know, like unless like they completely overhaul everything. But what are the chances of that?
Now, like if on-chain wants to disrupt incumbents, I think we have like a 1 to 2 year window.
Really?
Where like we have to get viral apps.
It has to happen
because,
like right
again,
now.
These networks are open. And so at a certain point, once the networks get dense enough in terms of their content quality and the stuff that people are doing, anyone can aggregate over them. And that can be a little startup, but Facebook could also aggregate over it. TikTok could aggregate over it. Like they can start to pull in this content because again, it's open content. And so I think my insight is like our clock is ticking. Like if we want to,
but I feel like the platform itself is still going to be centralized. So even if they're going to start putting in the content, people can still be, you know, you can still be blacklisted and not, you know, they cannot show certain people over there. And I think that these giants have to fall. Everything centralized has to fall.
Have a shot here. Like we need to get viral consumer experiences that reach hundreds of millions of people in the next 1 to 2 years so that we can have net new on-chain native leaders, products, companies, startups.
Keep in mind, he just said hundreds of millions of people in the next 2 years. When they come over to Base, What do you think they're gonna go? Well, like, what do you think they're gonna go into projects we're holding right now? So hundreds of millions of people in the next 2 years. This is a beautiful time to be stacking, man. Like, I'll just say that. Like, that's just my opinion on it.
DAOs, whatever you want, as the people who are actually driving distribution, who are shaping the culture, and who are getting to benefit and participate in it. But like, yeah, I think we got to cook. Like, this is, I mean, I just said it on Twitter, but like, my whole message to my team right now is get the fuck into like zone 3, zone 4, zone 5 in terms of like your heart rate zone and how that translates to your work. Like, literally now is the time. We've never had another opportunity. We will never have another opportunity. If we're going to build a new internet, it's going to like happen in the next couple of years. And I think we want to be a part of it. I definitely want to be a part of it.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was a beautiful thing. Like, he wants to be a part of building a new internet, and we're at that place where we can do it. I love it, man. Let me know you all's take on that and how you feel. Do you feel the same? Do you kind of see the vision and see what he's talking about? Me, I 100% agree, and this is why I'm so behind Base Chain, man. You can tell that they're thinking towards the future. You can tell that they have the right person in charge, and that he's thinking in the right way. Like, it's an excitement for where the world is going, and I love it. So yeah, that being said, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out, fam.